In this video, I'll show you how to change the name of a tab dynamically. So using JavaScript. So I have this model driven app. So it has a list of destination cities. So if I go into one of the record, I can see that the city currency is UAE dirhams over here. It's a drop down value. Now, this is a tab. Okay. So this is a tab and this is a section. Now, what if I want to change the name of the tab dynamically? Now, the tab name is Gen for all the cities. So if you go into all the cities over here, the tab name, the first tab name is Gen, right? Now, what I want is the tab name of this city, the tab name of the specific thing should be maybe the currency name, okay, or the equivalent of currency. So if I select Melbourne, it should be AUD, or if I select, say, Los Angeles, this should be USD, okay. So we can put those condition around it, okay. Now, how do we change that? Using JavaScript. So this is the goal of this exercise. Okay. So in order to first do all those changes, first what we need to do is like we need to write a JavaScript. So I'm going to write some JavaScript. Now I've already created ahead of time a JavaScript web resource. Now this web resource file does not have anything. We are going to paste the JavaScript over here and we are going to use this tab code as a web resource in the form over here. Okay. And we're going to add that event handler in on the load of this particular page of that form, basically the destination city. So here, once this page is loaded, then it will start executing that JavaScript, and based on some condition it's going to change the tab. Okay. uh, we can do this for all the tab, but I will just do it for, say, Australia. Okay. So if someone selects Melbourne, then I'm gonna change this to Gen to AUD. Okay. You can do this for other tab, but for this example I'll just show you for one. You can do it for the rest. Now in order to do that, let's start writing some JS. Okay. So simple JS. What we are going to do is we are going to change the tab. So I'll just say change tab, pass on the execution context, and here let me make it a bit bigger. Okay. Form context. So let's take the form context. So where form context equal to execution context dot get form context. Now we need to get the what are we going to change? We are going to change the tab name. Okay. So for that we need to get the tab name. So I'll just say where tab equal to form context dot ui dot tabs dot get, and we need to get the name of the tab. So I'll just put it xxx for time being. Okay. Put a semicolon. Then on change of what, so depending on, say, maybe the currency name. Okay. So let me pick up a currency name. If someone select Australian dollar, then the tab name should be changed to AUD. Okay. So if that is the scenario, then we need to make use of that particular column as well. So let's call this as where currency equal to form context dot get attribute, and we need to get the attribute of that currency drop down. So I'll just put YYY dot get value. So get the value of that currency. Okay. And once we get all these things, we are gonna just check. Okay. So if currency equal to some value ZZZ. Okay. So if it is Australian dollar, then you do something. Now what are we going to do? We are going to change the tab name. Now in order to change the tab name, it's simple. Just say tab dot set label, and whatever label you want. I will just hard code this for time being, but you can make it dynamic as well, or maybe use a switch condition to change the currency for all the currency type. Okay. Now this is a very simple demonstration. Okay. So what we are doing, we are just taking the form context, we are taking the context of the tab, we are taking the context of the field through which the tab name or the tab label needs to be changed, and then we are just writing a simple logic. If that currency is changed to this, then make this changes. Okay, let's take the tab name first. Okay, so what is the tab name? So if I navigate to this destination city, and let me open one of this, go to the level of tools, go to the logical names. Now here the tab name is tab underscore general. So let's copy this tab underscore general and paste it over here. So let me remove that X altogether. Yeah, currency. The currency field which we have taken the reference of is this. Okay, so if someone changes this to AUD or Australian dollar, then the tab name should be changed to AUD. That's the whole goal. So the name of this field is gcorp underscore city currency. So I'm gonna copy that gcorp underscore city currency in that JS code. Okay. Now, what should be the value? The value of that currency, if you see over here, like in the backend table, I have this different currencies type. So this is that table city currency. Let me go into the edit column and then pick up the value of Australian dollar. So let me go. So the default choice is USD, Australian dollar, Canadian dollar. Okay, let me edit this choice. And here you will see Australian dollar is 645290001. So we may need to hard code this value. Okay, so let me type in this value 645. I think it was 290001. 645290001. Let me verify it again. 645290001. Yeah, that's correct. So this is that simple code. Okay, now save this, copy this JS code in the web resource which we have already created. So this is the web resource file tab code. So let me paste this value over here and let me copy the function name. Function name is change tab. I'll click on save, and once it is saved, let's publish this. Now you need to hook this JS to the form. So on this form load of this particular form, so this is that main information form. In the events on load event handler, I have already connected this library. Just put the function name, pass execution as context as the first parameter, enabled, save and publish, and that's it. So let it get published. It might take a minute or two. We have already published the JS. So just to show you in the code again what we have done, we have written a simple function and then we have called the form execution context. We've extracted the tab name, and then we have extracted the attribute name of that particular field. On basis of that, if someone changes this to Australian dollar, the tab name should be set to AUD. Okay. I know this example really doesn't make sense, but then the goal of this exercise is to just make you aware that this is possible. You can change the tab name dynamically on change of some conditions. Okay, so let me refresh the page over here. Let me do a control F5. Let me go to say Abu Dhabi. Okay, now the city currency is UAE dirhams. If I make this change to Australian dollar, click on save. Okay, nothing happened. Let's go back to Melbourne over here. Yes, so Melbourne has changed to AUD. As you see over here, Melbourne has changed to AUD. Oh, okay. So even Abu Dhabi has changed to AUD, but then it takes some time. Okay, so if I go to Brisbane, it is already changed to AUD. If I go to Canberra, it is changed to AUD. But if for Canberra, I'll just pick up US dollar, click on save, and now if I just hit refresh, then it is changed to Gen. Okay, so similarly, if I go into any of the other city and make the currency as Australian dollar and save it, it after a refresh it should be able to see, you should be able to see this information. Now again, in the JS we can also do a refresh, so there is a function to do a refresh as well. You can write that in the code as well, and then you can refresh that specific form. Okay, or maybe redirect to the backend list view, so you can even do that. So this example is just to show you how to change the tab name dynamically on basis of some condition using JavaScript. Thanks for watching.